Up next, we will have Daniel Maggio.
First, they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. Then they fight you. And then you win. Gandhi. Just a few blocks from this theater is San Jose City Hall. I don't know if any of you have been by there in the past couple of months, but there's all these people out there who are holding signs. Signs that say things like, Congress should be like NASCAR and wear their sponsors on their jackets. And another that says, people too big to fail. There's even a guy who climbed up a 30-foot brick wall and has vowed out to camp up there for 99 days. He even has a tent. Did you guys see him up there? He goes by the name Cracker. And people hoist up supplies to him and he lowers down his waist. But I haven't seen Cracker up there recently. In fact, there used to be a lot more people in front of City Hall, and they're not there anymore. And they used to have tents, and those are gone too. But what are they doing out there? What do they want? Well, they've all been inspired by a global movement that's being called Occupy Wall Street. Occupy Wall Street is a people-powered grassroots movement that began on September 17, 2011 in Liberty Square of Manhattan's financial district. It has spread to over 100 cities in the United States and 1,500 cities globally. The Occupy movement is fighting back against the corrosive power of multinational corporations and major banks that have taken precedent over the democratic process, and Wall Street's influence in causing one of the greatest recessions in generations. That's what the website says, anyway. But to me, the more I study it and learn about it, the point of it is to start a national dialogue among our citizens about what democracy actually means. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my interpretation of that national dialogue, which I have titled Occupy, Voices of the 99%, a collection of newspaper articles, political blogs, radio interviews, and videos of the protesters themselves. Much of my information has come from Rolling Stone journalist Matt Taibbi, among other sources. Excuse me, sir. Why are you out here protesting today? Well, I'm here because I believe in direct democracy, where people actually have power over the government. See, we are the 99%, the 99% of the population who doesn't have a voice, and it's the 1% who are making all the decisions. And you, sir? Well, we want the transition of power from state to the people. It's that simple. And you, ma'am? We want the money out of politics. People have signs that read things like, I'll believe corporations are people when Texas executes one. And another sign that says, if you're not outraged, then you're not paying attention. And another that says, I don't mind you being rich, I mind you buying my government. What? They have no agenda. They don't know what they want. They're just loitering on the streets. They have no demands and they have no leadership. You can always tell who the undercover cops are, because they're the ones that come up to you and they say, so, who do you think's the one in charge around here? Who do you think's the one making the decisions, huh? Who's the leader? Give me a name. But what they don't understand is that the reason this movement is so successful is because there is no leader. There are no demands. It's just people engaging in a true democracy. Socialists, hippies. Why don't you cut your hair, shave your face, and go get a job? I can tell by looking at you, you've never worked a day in your life, have you? Why don't you occupy a desk? What you don't understand is why you're out here protesting. The major banks and corporations are getting richer. Just go home to California. The issues that spawn this movement, income inequality, money in politics, and Wall Street's influence all seem to be overshadowed by the mainstream media over debates of personal hygiene, noise, and crime. There seems to be a misconception. We are a non-violent movement. Everyone in our camp has taken a vow of non-violence. And anyone who can't make that vow is being asked to leave. We had a guy here at Occupy San Francisco who couldn't make that vow, so we peacefully escorted him out of the camp, and everyone was very happy to do so. But despite this, the Occupy movement is under attack. It is facing aggressive police action in cities all over the country as arrests rise over the enforcement of mundane laws that are preventing the establishment of permanent camps. Well, if they enforced bank regulations like they did park regulations, we wouldn't be in this mess in the first place. Just saying. There have been countless reports of police brutality against peaceful protesters. I was absolutely mesmerized watching the UC Davis pepper spraying. It was equally the most depressing thing and inspiring thing I've ever seen in my career as a journalist. For those of you who haven't seen it, police in paramilitary gear line up in front of a group of peaceful protesters who are sitting in a quad pathway. Completely unprovoked, the police douse all the protesters with pepper spray. And there's screaming, and there's chaos, and there's panic, but the wheezing students still don't move despite the assault. And finally, what to me is the most amazing part, is all the other protesters gather together and move forward and start shouting, "Shame on you! Shame on you!" over and over again. And you can literally see the painful truth of these words cutting the resolve of the policemen and forcing them backwards. In Occupy Seattle, an 84-year-old woman was pepper sprayed. And so was a pregnant woman who claims that she miscarried after the assault. The crackdown of Occupy movements all over the country by mayors and police forces only means one thing. It's getting somewhere. This movement has gotten rid of apathy. People who felt like they never had a voice before or couldn't make a difference don't feel that way anymore. Even if you raided all the camps and arrested all the people, these feelings of injustice aren't going to go away. I guess that's what his sign meant when he said, "People too big to fail." First they ignore you, then they laugh at you. In this case, they pepper spray you, and then you win.